What's up, guys? Gary from the T-Shirt Help Desk here. And this one is from the mailbag. And a gentleman asked me, and a few people have asked me this, so I'm just going to put both of these questions in. I'm going to answer them both at the same time. It's a two-part question, or you could say two questions. That is, should I use a screen printer to start my business? That's one. And the other one is, should I screen print my own t-shirts? And my answer to both, with one exception that I'm going to talk about, is a resounding hell no. Actually, there's two exceptions to that hell no. Number one, to me, as far as now, this is just my opinion. If you disagree, by all means, do what you have to do. This is just my opinion. I do not run your company. I do not tell you what to do. I have no authority in your life. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Okay, so don't send me any comments about screen print. I does not care. All right. So, should you go with a screen printer? Number one, screen printing is an old, fuddy-duddy, crusty, horrible, antiquated system. Okay. It's old, it's time consuming, and it's hella expensive, especially for guys first coming out. Okay, I strongly suggest that you go one of a few routes. Okay, if you can, right, depending on what type of artwork you use, you can use a vinyl cutter. All right. I'm not a big fan of that, but if you have simple stuff like, let's just say that this rent, it was really simple, like block spot stuff, you could possibly do stuff like this with a vinyl cutter in the beginning. All right. Another way is to use a print on demand service. Okay, that would be something like Zazzle, Cafe Press, WordPress, Wordans, Spreadshirt, one of these that do your stuff and print and ship out your stuff for you. But in the beginning, to save some money, because of the markup and you have to put your price on top of their price, it can be kind of crazy. I talk about this in detail in my book. So yeah, you can go that. You can also go the way of heat transfers. Now when I say heat transfers, and I get so sick of people coming to me asking me about, number one, do I do transfers? No, I do not. I can point you in the right direction. Number two is, what kind of paper should you get? You shouldn't be doing any heat transfers yourself unless you know what the hell you're doing and you have some serious equipment. That home inkjet, Staples, Walmart foolishness, please don't ask me about that, ever. Okay, but Plastisol heat transfers are great if you can get enough of them at the same time, because they're done by screen printers, by the way. So it's kind of like whatever, but if you get enough of them at the same time, you can kind of beat them at their own game a little bit, because you can mix and match blanks. I explain this in detail in the book and in the video that I have, but it's more in detail in the book. But you can mix and match blanks, and you can hopefully do gang printing, okay, which you can't do with standard screen printing. So that's one way. But guys, there are so many other ways to do stuff, and they have something right now, which is a I detail this in the book also. It's a printer and cutter, so it cuts and prints. So it kind of makes your transfers for you, you know, and you can lease it for a little bit of nothing. And if a few of you guys are in the same vicinity and you know each other, you can come together with this lease and you can make t-shirts all day. So there's lots of ways to get around this whole screen printer shit. They nickel and dime you. They charge for everything. They charge, if you walk into their place, they charge you to breathe the air. They charge you for art. They charge you for color separations. They charge you for every single color. They just charge you for everything. And if you can get a DTG machine, now DTG machine is expensive, and I detail this in the book too. A DT jean is expensive in the front, but once again, if a few of you guys get together and use it, you really can be making some great stuff. Okay, so there are a lot of other situations. Now, when it's good is only when later on in your business time, when you establish yourself, and I detail that in the book. Should you screen print yourself? Hell no! No way. I had a screen printing business, and if I had done what I should have done, I would have never ever in 1,000 years gotten into that business. No way. I had been designing t-shirts and making a lot of people a lot of money for years, and I said, damn it, I'm gonna come up with my own, I'm gonna design and print other people's stuff. I'm gonna come up with this all-inclusive great t-shirt promotional business. And I got in there and I had to start doing that stuff, and I hated it. It's nasty, it's time consuming, it's messy. There's a lot of harsh chemicals that are, some of them can be carcinogenic, and you can get the natural chemicals, but those are hella expensive. It takes a long time. And if you're doing multicolor, it just takes a long time. First you have to do the artwork, which is fine. Then you have to do a color separation, which takes time. Then you have to print it on special acetate. All right. Then you have to coat the screens with this goddamn chemical. All right. Then you have to let that dry. And then once you get that dry, you have to take it and you have to shoot it. And after you shoot it, that takes time. And then after you shoot it, you have to spray out the stuff. And then once again, you have to put it in the dry. You have to let it dry again. That's like an hour process right there. Then you have to put it on the screen, and you have to, and if you think for 5 seconds that, you guys watch these videos and you see these guys and they put it on there and they go, swap, swap, oh, ooh, look at the t-shirt. Dude, there is a learning curve, and you are going to mess up. Oh man, it could be 20, 30, 10, 40, 50, hundreds of t-shirts before you kind of get that thing down. So I do not suggest it. And another thing is, that's work. That you can see, this is the thing. In business, there's two different paradigms. You can run a business or you can own your job. I prefer to run them. Running a business meaning you work your business with your mind and other people do the work. Owning a job meaning you work your business with your mind, but you yourself physically have to do the work. So let somebody else do that, especially with all that labor, all those. Let somebody else do that later on, or go to one of these other systems that I told you about before. Now, the exception to this is if you are already a screen printer and you know all this stuff and you have the equipment and everything. If you have the equipment, you know how to do this stuff, by all means. But if you've never done it before, like with me, when I first started business, I went out and I rented a place. I got a place and I got an office. I bought all this equipment. I mean, I had a partner too, a couple partners. Bought all this equipment, did all this stuff, and I hated it. And then all of a sudden now I have this whole business here, and I'm just like, oh, shucks. Now what am I gonna do? So, guys, I do not suggest using a screen printer, but on the special occasions, and those occasions are later on in line when you're established. And the other occasion is if you already have the equipment, or you have a really good friend, someone close to you that has the equipment, but most importantly, you already know how to use it. It is a big, huge learning curve in screen printing. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're going to give yourself a hell of a heartache. So my suggestion is, don't do it. Use some of the new, beautiful, quick, awesome t-shirt printing ways that they have now. It's 2014, guys. You don't have to deal with that stuff. Okay, so that's my answer to that question. If you disagree, that is fine. If some screen printers are pissed off, that's fine too. I does not care. But that's it. All right, so I hope this helps, and cheers to your t-shirts. Talk to you all soon. See you at the top. God bless. Peace. Guys, yes, it is here. It is here. Okay? You got it. Start a business or die trying. The ebook is here. And when you get the book, you know, the book can be, you can put it like this right here, you can put it on the iPad and just really go through these awesome chapters here. I mean, it's really great. You can also, if you get it in Word or PDF format, you can read it on just on your straight computer. You know what I'm saying? It's an ebook. Coming out with an actual physical book very, very soon. And if you guys have a Kindle, it's also available in Kindle format. You can get it any format you want. So don't think that you have to have an iPad or an e-reader to read it. You can read it right on your computer. But if you do have an iPad, you know what I'm saying, it makes it all better. Guys, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to say to you guys. You know, this is really a great experience. You know what I'm saying? I think that it is definitely owner's material for anyone who's trying to get into this business. I wish you guys nothing but the absolute best, no matter whether you get this book or not.